Sup traders, I'm going to do a pre-close analysis of the day, which is the 30th of October. Wednesday, we had some news during the day, ADP, not NFP, and Advanced GDP, which were quite anticlimactic. Nothing really happened during that news. I've already recorded the video, but I forgot to, or my mic wasn't working, so I'm doing a voiceover of the video. So Eurodollar, right? While going into the week, bearish order flow. Going into today, there was clearly some signs that price was not going to push lower. Right, we'd come into that monthly time frame order blocks 50%, weekly time frame sell side liquidity low was taken out last week. That inverse fair value gap on the weekly time frame had been cleared out, and yeah, though it just ended the month or last day of the month, so it was less likely that price was going to continue lower towards the end of the month, which is tomorrow. So yeah, we rejected that. Look how we rejected that yesterday with that bullish engulfing candle that took out the low of Monday. And after seeing that, honestly, going into today, I was quite bullish. So even though the weekly time frame order flow had been bearish, I was bullish going into the day because of yesterday's close and price failing to close below. So, and also the fact that we have NFP going into in 2 days, I expect price to find a deeper retracement and essentially probably drop down during NFP if it's going to it's just accumulating all these positions at the moment, and during NFP after NFP it'll probably tank. So yeah, I was gonna short at that low earlier today because we had come into previous day's high and some equal highs on the 240 and put in the strong pin bar. Right after seeing that pin bar, I wanted to go short, especially as price came down to that low. I was expecting that to be a market structure shift, which luckily it wasn't, because had it been a market structure shift, I'm pretty sure I'd have taken the short. We've got area where price can come into at that weekly time from fair value gap, which is highlighted in red, and that still got that daily time from fair value gap up there as well, right above that order blocks, and that is an area I will look to take a short tomorrow or Friday whenever it reaches there with a channel, which is normally what I trade at, key point of interest, unless I'm in a trend. So yeah, tomorrow, what do we have? We got news at 12:30, so maybe we'll come up to that high, take out the liquidity during London session, we'll drop lower during London, and then during New York we'll push up again, and I'm just waiting around for Friday. Really, there's not a lot going on, but I will look for a trade at that point of interest. Yeah, going into today, I really wanted to short at this low earlier, but I stuck to my rules. Did not want to trade it because of the fact that the market is so unclear at the moment. Like, I just don't know what it was going to do. Very unpredictable. So yeah, and after it failed to close below that low, that was more than enough confirmation for me to not go short. So yeah, I don't know what I was talking about here earlier, but I probably was saying, I'm probably just waiting around until NFP. Tomorrow's Thursday and Friday. I do think we'll probably push up again Thursday, or maybe we'll get a slight pullback on Thursday. Honestly, anything can happen. It can consolidate. Oh yeah, I was saying, yeah, if price accumulates there before reaching those highs, I will wait for price to pull down into these lows where that drawn liquidity is, and look for opportunities to go long up to that fair value gap. But that is only if that happens before it reaches that fair value gap, which I think it will reach a fair value gap before it comes down to that low. Honestly, I do think, yeah, there's a lot of liquidity going into NFP end of month. A lot of nice channels formed. We had a double bottom essentially on the daily time frame. So let's go into pound dollar. Similar to euro dollar, we've been bearish the entire month. We're closing in that bearish engulfing candle, so that's one of the main reasons. I was expecting price to be bullish going into this week. We came into a discount at a second fair value gap start, which is and held. We cleared the first fair value gap last week, and then we tapped into the start of the second one, and we found some support. And since then, prices just failed to continue lower, even though the order flow is bearish. We took out yesterday's high, right? We've had a pullback, quite a deep retracement so far. We had yesterday's high taken out, and there was an opportunity opportunity to go short as well, which I got out at break even. Yeah, price came into that buy side liquidity under 240, which also happened to be yesterday's high, and tanked. Right at first it tanked, which is where I had taken my entry during London session, and yeah, it tanked into the low of the channel when we had the 240 fair value gap. So I wasn't trading at that low, and was essentially ranging at the moment. You see 1, 2, 3, 4 test range, and yeah, like I had waited for the channel to take out the highs of the channel again one more time. It would have been, yeah, this is where I took the entry, by the way, at that market structure shift. We had a unicorn set up, essentially fair value gaps, breaker, and I took the short at the 618 pullback on the button, the 5 minute. It became more and more obvious that if price was going to hold that level, right, it should continue lower. But after seeing that strong bearish engulfing candle, the last one, I moved my stops to break even because of the fact that that should realistically push price lower into the low of my target, which is at the Asian low. So if it was going to reverse, it would have reversed, and I was okay with it, and it did. I was up about 1% at this point, but that's fine. That's what it is. But then price moved up, took out liquidity off the Asian high, which I think is a better entry, and then didn't really give an entry, right? You don't get that market structure shift and pull back into the retracement. It just drops. It just fucking drops with that bearish engulfing candle, and after that price just tanks to that low, where it finds support. And like I said, it's NFP week. I don't predict the price to go all the way down to previous week's low. So had I taken that entry, I was aiming for that Asian low. Like I wasn't even expecting price to come all the way down to that low, but it did, and then immediately pushed up, and then immediately found resistance. And at the moment, I think I don't think we're going to continue lower into that range. We might not. Time will tell. But for now, I won't be doing much at all on pound dollar. I'm just gonna wait out until NFP comes out. We've got loads of fair value gaps, I believe, at the top. To see how price has been slowly making its way down into that weekly time for fair value gap, leading up to the NFP day, end of month. So there's a lot of liquidity above all of those highs, right? It could be anywhere. So yeah, I'm just waiting out and seeing how price plays out on NFP day now on pound dollar. So yeah, that's my recording voiceover.